friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Amazing viewers. I am so blessed to be here. I love you guys so much. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you guys here. And if you're returning, then I am so grateful, so blessed to be doing your reading again. And today's reading, we're taking a look at how you're currently viewing a situation and what is actually going on in that situation. So sort of your perception versus the objective truth. We'll see if it matches. We'll see if there's anything you're missing or anything you're distorted in your perception about. So 3 options to choose from today. If you're new to pick a cards, you'd lean into your intuition. One of these objects will call to you. If you're drawn to more than one, could mean multiple aspects in regards to the energy wanting to come through with the messaging. So always listen to your intuition, and whichever object you're feeling called towards will be in the timestamp below, and I will put that in the pinned comment as well, so you guys can take a look at these 3 objects and select whichever one you're feeling called towards. All right, so option 1, we have this beautiful purple and pink butterfly. Option 2, we have this beautiful yellow birdie sitting on some pink flowers. And option number 3, we have this beautiful, whoa, beautiful red rose air freshener. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why I felt called to show you guys the back side, but I did. So I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, my blessed angels. Pile 1, you guys pick the beautiful pink and purple butterfly. And we're looking at how you're currently observing or experiencing your situation, whatever situation you have going on, and what is objectively actually happening. What is the objective truth going on in that situation? So we'll see if your perception is missing anything, if it's distorted, or if there's anything you need to know in regards to your current situation. All right. So, as usual, use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether these messages are right for you, and only you can do this. And if this part you're not resonating with, then chances are this is not your pile, because this should be something that you are currently experiencing or is resonating with you. All right, now we're not all in the exact same place in the timeline energetically, so this could be something that has come into its existence with you. It could be something that is coming into your awareness, or it could be something you're currently going through. Okay, so if it's something that sounds like more of a passing energy, you might want to go check out another pile to see if there's any sort of future energies coming in for you. All right, so let's take a look. We have crystal. Wow, crystal. We have this tree and 5 flowers. And we have joy. Wow. Okay. And we have trine sextile with symbiosis. 52, or the number 7. 7 is about faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding. It's also the chariot in the tarot, which is about victory, forward movement. We have message in a bottle with number 15, or the number 6. 15 is the devil in the tarot, which is Capricorn energy. And also the lovers, number 6, about a choice, a decision. 6 is about problem solving, compassion, harmony. Walking away, 27, or the number 9, fruition, completion, and fulfillment. And we have the king, control, reversal of fortune. Control and reversal of fortune with the king. And we have judge, light attributes, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power, Shadow attributes offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Murder. Light attributes learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Shadow attribute addiction to self-pity. And the fog. 39 or the number 12. And we have the kiss with number 60 or the number 6 coming through again. Okay, let me sit with this energy and see what we see here. Let me get my wand. Helps me to concentrate. All right. Okay. Pile 1, I feel like this is a positive energy because I feel you feel empowered because you can see something clearly. It's like you're in control. I feel here you feel a sense of control, and it's like you're taking your power back is how you feel. So there's a sense of empowerment in a situation which I feel might have been something where you might have felt oppressed, stuck, incapable of seeing clearly, maybe indecisive, maybe not in the know, maybe there was just feeling very much controlled by a situation. And so I don't know what's exactly freed you from here. For some of you guys, it could have been a communication maybe you had with someone, or maybe some understanding that came to you that shed some light. Maybe it was a sudden epiphany or some just further communication that shined light around something that was sort of a missing piece, or maybe a missing understanding that allowed you to sort of sort through your emotions. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just going to open this tarot because I realize I don't have any tarot here. So, yeah, like the emotions might have been playing a huge part, you know, and feeling maybe at the mercy of our emotions, not knowing how to, what the truth was in the emotions, like having to sit with emotions or figure out certain things, and then being sort of led astray maybe by our own experience, and then getting lost in our emotions or not knowing how to take back control. But I feel as though you found a way to free yourself. Maybe you had to completely surrender, walk away from a situation that was very unclear. You know, for some of you guys, it could have been an intimate partnership here I'm seeing. Okay, but I feel like it's maybe certainly something you connected with on an emotional level that made things very difficult for you to balance your own self or prioritize your own self and use fair judgment to make decisions to empower yourself what was the right or proper thing you were needing to do, and to get very clear. Because I feel like what's motivating you is to find your happiness, and I feel you wanted growth, and I feel you wanted obviously to be content. I mean, who doesn't? But I feel like true contentment, true happiness you can rely on, something clear, stable, and something that could grow, something that's pleasurable and, yeah, just reliable. But I feel like maybe you didn't trust your own decisions, or you didn't trust your mind space in which you were sitting to make right decisions. Could have been something you were sacrificing yourself for some time, or feeling like the more you gave or sacrificed of self, the more it appeared maybe like you cared, or like things would shift, or I don't know, maybe there was a codependent situation, or a codependent relationship, or something that was relying on you and maybe you relying on it, and needing to really get clear, which also required you to shed some illusion and get very honest with self. Maybe some things that you were in denial about, or not seeing about a truth. And part of that was your ability to get empowered, your ability to see clearly, your ability to make changes and act in a direction in which you feel would be more aligned to your joy, because it brought more certainty and clarity. And I also feel it's healing. So you've experienced a lot of healing here. And you could have sat with a whole bunch of different truths, you know, embracing that many things could be true at once. Many things could be true at once, and that your truth is going to be your truth. Whatever sets you free is kind of your own story. Whatever path is your own path here, and becoming comfortable with what that looks like, you know, that not passing judgment on any decisions we make, because anyone can have an opinion about what we're doing or what we decide to do for self. And until we actually find peace with our own decisions and find clarity in our own decisions and can find joy in making those decisions and feel empowered, then that is our own clarity, our own sense of direction, our own liberation, you know. But I do sense there is some bittersweet here. Like there's a looking back here on a situation that you might have felt very connected to and had to make some tough decisions and maybe communicate some tough things and deliver some information that, you know, is bittersweet but sets you free in some way here. So this is current sort of view of your energy that you're seeing, okay, your situation and how you're sort of seeing it. If you connect with this, past, present, future energy, okay, because again, like I say, we're not all in the exact same place in the timeline. So if this sounds kind of like something you're coming into realization, then let's see what the objective truth is here, okay? Maybe what you're not seeing, or maybe reinforcing what you're seeing. Let's see. So we have mushroom, and we have compulsion, and we have this little dot here, abstract card, and we have solar flares with activate 17 or the number 8, and we have Y, number 31 and the number 4. Okay, and we have 25 or the number 7 with deceit. And we have the masquerade, hiding your true self and projection. We'll put that right by deceit. And we have vampire, light attribute, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Shadow attributes, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. Vinegar, 34. And the shadow, 28, or the number 10. Wow. Pile 1. Let me sit with this energy, because this is like a very different energy coming through here, okay? Okay. Now, I don't know that you're ready to hear this, pile 1. This sounds really good, okay? This is really good because this is growth and healing. But we're going to kick it up a notch, okay? This is coming through from spirit. This energy is great because it's getting empowered, which we need to go through and see value in self, which is all wonderful things. But when we kick it up a notch and we understand that we are not separate from everything and everyone around us, that everything is connected, that we are not separate from everyone, okay, that we are all connected. And until we experience this on a spiritual level, we don't really comprehend it on a mind level. And so we try to remove ourselves. We detach ourselves by pulling our energy away, feeling still like we have some sort of person here in the 3D that's going to drive a bunch of change in our world here, you know, by the actions we take and by the mind stories we tell ourselves and the belief, okay? But in order to fully sort of heal and to see things differently, we could still be in a situation like this and completely change your perception. of what we've experienced. Now, I'm not saying that you weren't a victim here or that you didn't need to walk away or all this, because we all experience things in order to progress in our healing journey and go through whatever we need to go through so that we could come to a greater understanding. Okay, but this is like kicking it up a notch, saying if you were still in that situation, you would have seen things differently than how you have been seeing it, that you yourself were projecting, you yourself were lying to self, because the intention was still coming from ego. Your intention was to attain something here, and you were disappointed, that there was this passing of judgment. And judgment only ever comes from the ego. Judgment never comes from the heart. So when we're on a journey, and I feel you are, of learning unconditional love and acceptance, despite the challenge, we have to sit with our own shadow and not look external at other people's behaviors, other people's shadow, and say, but why could this person get away with this? And this doesn't seem right. And that action is not proper. And this doesn't align with my self-worth. And when we sit with that, we project that other people are dictating our pure essence of our true self that has nothing to do with how they act around us and the situation at hand. So this is being in a situation and not being triggered by it at all, not needing to walk away, not needing to sort of feel as though you have to get empowered by taking steps. This is knowing that our shadow tells us that when we experience something triggering, we have to take action, okay? But this is the ego trying to protect itself, and the ego is there through evolution trying to protect you. The strongest will survive. And so when we experience pain, when we experience something that is discomforting, something that makes us contract, the ego remembers this and stores it in our cells, okay, in our energy body. And so when we experience similar things, the ego comes through and it says, I remember you did not like this experience in the past. I know that you have suffered from this sort of experience. And so it triggers this flight or flight response. And the flight or flight is something instinctual that comes from our unconscious mind. Okay, I know this is, you might want to play this on slow if it's difficult to follow. But what Spirit's really showing here is that the true self that isn't coming from ego or shadow or subconscious would not get triggered, would not need to run. Okay, now you might say, I didn't run. I made a decision to get empowered, to leave a situation. But the true power comes from understanding where we were triggered and not allowing it to get triggered, and then to question our intention and to question why really did we walk away, was our ego wanting to attain something in the ego's timing? Was the ego saying, this is the way it needs to be, this is the way it needs to be shown, this is what I see joy as? Okay, and so then we think this is really the true joy of what we see and what we need to attain, and anything getting in this way could be a risk to our joy. And so our ego steps in there and wants to fight or flight. Okay, and so our mind tells us that we're seeing something clearly here and that we shattered some sort of illusion and that we're doing it for the greatest good here of ourselves, of getting clear and getting joy and being free. But what Spirit is showing here is that really the ego is running the show here. Okay, the ego is running the show, because when we peel back the layer and go even deeper and we say, why did I get as triggered as I did? Why is it then that I am looking external as though something else outside of me has caused this action, when really the only thing that's real is my true authentic self. Everything else is an illusion here. And me and this person, okay, the I am and that person's I am is all from the same source. We're all connected. So if this person in the situation you're dealing with is in trigger themselves, is in shadow themselves, is acting out of line, does that mean to allow them to disrespect you? No. That just means you know how to put up a boundary of self and stand up for self, but it would not trigger us to act in certain ways here that I feel we had to, I don't know, leave, walk away. We passed some sort of judgment here on a situation that is coming from ego, that is coming from the shadow self to conserve itself, to say, hey, like, you're being hurt here by another, which we cannot, as we know. Okay, other people cannot hurt us unless we believe it to be true. And I know this is hard for the intellectual mind to pick up. This is more of a very spiritual reading, someone very ascended that can connect to heart consciousness and know when we are in heart place, heart does not know of judgment. The heart does not know of any intent other than just giving love, being of service to another, being there for another. It does not say, but what can I get? But what about me? But what can I attain? But why does this not make me happy? When we know we're giving from our heart place, we love it. And we say, this is all that I need, is to give from my heart space. And then the universe in kind pays us back with true, authentic, pure love. Okay, not superficial love, not another situation that is at that level of stuckness, because I feel like you're opening up this heart space and this type of unconditional love here, okay? But I feel like you might have a fear of being alone, isolated, abandoned. You might have been feeling alone, okay? And so I feel like there's these triggers with the compulsion and the solar flares that come up through our subconscious and makes us act. Okay, these triggers are actual memory of traumas. And so when we act, when we get triggered, when we need to take action, we need to understand these sort of instant reactions and question them always when they come up. What is my intention? And even if it's not a trigger, we should always be questioning our action, saying, what is my intention right now? Because now we know we're not leaving any space open for the ego to come in, for the ego to beat on us, right? So let's say, for example, let's just use smoking, for example, okay? We are told smoking is bad and that it's not healthy and it is not good. And if you smoke, it's bad for you and you're bad for having this addiction. And so when we smoke, we could just be doing it, you know, just doing the motions, doing the habit of it. And then our ego comes in there and beats us up and keeps saying, you're bad. You can't quit smoking. You're doing this again. This is an addiction. You're not good. Okay, but when we have the intention and we say, I am smoking this and I am aware that I'm smoking this and my intention is I want to quit because I feel or I understand maybe on an intellectual level that this isn't healthy for me, but I haven't experienced this, okay? Just like a teenager, they need to experience their own experiences. They can't be told what's good and bad. Same with us, okay? We need to experience what's good and bad. And so we put the intention, I am smoking this cigarette, full well knowing that my intention is that, you know, I can surrender to God, to the universe to help guide me in this, but I am smoking this out of a decision I am making here. And so now we take away from the ego. We now take away the ego's opening. It cannot come in here and say you were bad. You know you've made a decision here, and you know, and you haven't passed judgment on self, that your goal or whatever sort of intent you have here is the mission you're on. The mission you're on is to learn whether it's bad for you, to experience that cigarette in that moment. Okay, so we can extrapolate this over many things, and this is our intention behind everything we do. So when we get triggered by someone else's action and we respond, we need to know, why are we responding the way we're responding? Is it out of our subconscious sort of trigger that we push things away, or that we feel we need to run away, or that we isolate, or that we feel it's not making us feel a certain way? Because if we feel that it's not making us feel a certain way, then our understanding is that the external world is supposed to bring to us a certain feeling. And so we go seeking that out in another situation, in another job, in another relationship, in another, and we constantly are searching for this external fulfillment that will never come to us. And we will constantly be there, disappointed, alone, abandoned. Okay, so what the ego is showing is that this, whatever you're experiencing here, is for you to see how you're interconnected, how everything is interconnected, everything is one. And so when we are externally seeking that fulfillment, we're supposed to ask ourselves, why right now do I feel like this thing, this person, this situation is going to fulfill me and bring me the joy? And I get disappointed if it does not, because that's a false story that comes from my subconscious, and it leaves me feeling disappointed. It leaves me feeling bitter. It leaves me feeling angry. It leaves me feeling very much like people are out to get me, or like I'm drained, or like I'm giving of myself. And sometimes we have the thought, it doesn't pay to be good. It doesn't pay to be kind. It doesn't pay to give of self, because it's coming from an inauthentic place. Because the place it's coming from is the place that really inside you're giving from a desire to attain. That is ego. But when we give from a place of love that doesn't need to attain because it knows it's whole and complete, it doesn't feel drained. It doesn't feel like it's martyring itself. It doesn't feel like other people are taking advantage, because it knows, you know, you're giving from a place of love, out of a desire and an intention to just give love, to be of service. Okay? And so when we give like that, it never makes us feel bad. It should never make us feel drained or taken advantage of. The only time we'll ever feel taken advantage of is if our intention, that we weren't being honest, was that we had an ulterior desire, an ulterior hope, wish to attain, to get out of discomfort, and it didn't happen for us as the ego desired, as our own will desired. And so the universe sees this. Okay, this isn't like the type of journey where we can trick life and, you know, get away with shortcuts and do what we need. This journey I feel you're on here is about understanding this specific lesson, and it is one about truly giving of self, service, love, and knowing that we are all one and all connected, and always to question your intention, and, you know, and not to judge and not to feel bad and say I'm a bad person, because I feel like it's coming from a good place, that you're wanting to experience love and not feel isolated, you know. But when we really peel back the layers, we're trying to attain it from an external thing here. We're not giving from an unconditional place. We don't know of unconditional love here yet. Okay, pile 1, this is your reading. I hope this made sense for you. I don't feel I need any tarot, although, you know, sometimes people come here for the tarot, and when I only have oracle, it might be disappointing. I get it. So let's just do like advice here. 3 cards, or whatever spirit wants to show for guidance. For pile 1, guidance, spirit, what do they need to know as guidance here? Anything that's still unclear to this person, anything that I have missed that needs to be channeled here, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of the viewer. Thank you, Spirit. We are so blessed, and I am so blessed to be here channeling this message. Thank you so much, pile 1. I feel a very ascended energy here, okay? Going through a very profound lesson. It's not easy. What do we have? We have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to read them all in the upright. Okay, 5 Pentacles. Out in the cold. And this is this feeling of feeling, like I said, isolated. Feeling like, okay, is, you know, no matter how much of myself I give, I'm feeling like I'm not attaining the value, the love, the joy, the bliss, the respect, the whatever it is that I feel I need. Okay, but it's already within you, and there's no need to externally seek it. So what Spirit is showing here is, once we shed the false self, once we connect to the authentic self, the self that's pure and whole, it's always been whole, it's never been incomplete, we get out of 5 Pentacles. But when we don't see it, when we don't connect to it, we feel we need to seek it. We feel it's out there for us to find in situations and in fleeting moments. But this truest, purest love is not fleeting. It is constantly there. It doesn't hide from you. It's just that the experiences cloud it over top of the authentic self, like this mask here. Your true self is hiding. Okay, and it hides every time we project. We project onto others, saying this is what this experience should bring to me, or what I desire from this situation, or how I should intake this situation. But the truth is, every situation is completely neutral. It's completely neutral. Whether you resonate with it bad or good is totally your own soul judgment from past experience. Okay, so we need to remove the veil to see things from a neutral perspective. Okay, now I'm not saying pain doesn't exist. The pain could exist, but we don't need to attach a story or suffering to that pain and that experience. We experience whatever the pain is, you know, whatever, the flat tire, the breakup, the pain, but we don't narrate to it. We don't allow it to live on in our mind. We don't support that story on and on, because then we remain in the 5 pentacles. Okay, 5 cups, there's more sadness. Okay, 5 pentacles, 5 cups. Fives are challenging. It's all about conflict, change, but it's also the rebuilding point, because I feel like in order for us to gain this concept, we have to suffer, because sometimes the only way for us to say, I've had enough of this ego running the show, I've had enough suffering, I've had enough feeling out in the cold or isolated, that's when we finally go on the path to connect to our truest self, because nothing out there has brought us fulfillment. No one out there has been the thing, because the thing really resides within us. Okay, and so I feel like the 5s here are indicating how difficult. And pile 1, I'm not downplaying, you know, that you've experienced something here that's been very challenging and sad and hard and making you feel very out, you know, like isolated and feeling on the outs. And so the only person who is able to come out of this and know that this is really an illusion of experience is you, because you're choosing to wear the mask of seeing an experience as sad or isolated, or you being victim. Okay, you experiencing something here that we're still sort of narrating as sadness or as something disappointing. 2 cups, balance, harmony, union. Okay, look at this, 2 twins. And certainly some of you guys I know could be on the twin flame journey, okay? Because we have the twins here, and this is about partnership, but this is also the card of duality, you know, and we're not separate. We're all interconnected. So we might be seeing it as us being separate. And we know maybe in theory that we're not separate, but we haven't experienced this. And this is where you're at in the journey, is learning when we feel that we are one, you know, unity consciousness, and it's all based on our choice of how we see things and how we love. 3 wands, expansion, growth, forward movement. And 6 cups, soulmate, soul recognition, person, place, thing of the past, reconciliation, innocent love. So there's a message here for some of you guys. Okay, if you're resonating with it being a partnership, a relationship, something that you want to come into balance in your situation. It could just be you coming into masculine, feminine balance of self, because this looks pretty much identical to you. Okay, so it's your own self, which, I mean, your twin flame is yourself. And I know some of you guys have, like I said, have been on this journey. But whatever your story you're resonating with is, in order to find the balance, in order to find the harmony, in order to move forward, in order to come together, for this to be a reunion, for there to be soul recognition here, to move on together in harmony, there needs to be understanding this concept. Okay, and so I feel like we're experiencing this, and we could be stuck experiencing 5 pentacles, 5 cups, 5 pentacles, 5 cups, as long as we remain in this energy of our ego really tricking us, you know, thinking we're, and I feel like a lot of tarot readers, you know, are really trying to help when they say, you know, you get empowered and you, I don't know, like you just lay these sort of boundaries and sort of rah, rah, rah. It is right in a way that you do need to know your self-worth and your boundaries here, but this goes beyond this. This goes understanding the truth about why it is that we're, our intentions, okay, like I mentioned, there's a true intention here. And once we see that our intention wasn't pure, it wasn't crystal clear, because it wasn't coming from the heart space, it was coming from the ego, from a desire to attain something outside of ourself. and we will continue to come up against a 5 Pentacles, 5 Cups, and continuously be disappointed by our situation. It won't come into balance, and it won't move forward. It could certainly keep repeating, but in order to have progress, okay, there needs to be a recognition of this. And certainly the messaging here is there being a reconciliation, because I feel like there's a try again here. Okay, there's a try again here. So do not feel abandoned. You know, if you do feel abandoned and at a loss, know that it is your mind that is coming in there with this urgency to make you feel like, see, you need me to protect you. Your ego wants to be relevant. It wants to be there. Okay, but it doesn't need to be there, because we know there's a greater truth. And we're now elevating as a collective. We're ascending as a collective consciousness from this sort of egocentric mindset to this heart-based consciousness, okay? So, pile 1, that is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, you guys picked the yellow birdie on the pink flowers. Absolutely cute. We are looking at how you are currently viewing your situation, your circumstance here, okay? And then what is the actual truth? What is actually going on objectively in your situation? So how are you seeing it different? And what is Spirit wanting you to know in regards to how you should be seeing this, okay? But it could be reinforcing what you're seeing, or it could be peeling the veil of distortion if you're not in tune with the reality here, okay? So pile 1 is certainly interesting, and I cannot wait to get into your reading. I do ask, though, that you use your own intuition, okay? What you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this, okay? So just if this part resonates for you as something of how you're perceiving your situation, then chances are this is your message. Now, because we're all in different places on the energy timeline, this could be passing, present, or future energy, okay? So if this sounds like old energy, then it could certainly be that another pile is for you, all right? Or it could be energy coming into your awareness, and you could be resonating intuitively with this messaging, okay? So we have fiber, okay? And we have this calendar and this watch. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Interesting. Today I'm recording on a Friday. We don't see Friday. But today is the 21st when I'm recording. And here we have, it says 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Okay. So should. And where's my, oh, sorry, I was looking for that card. Put that like that. Should. Opposition, confrontation, 53, or the number 8. 8 is all about movements, change, and attainment. We have these 2 bucks kind of going head to head. Opposition, confrontation, and we have the fates, 17. Aquarius energy coming through, Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter energy, Sagittarius, Pisces, I'm also getting. And we have Patience, 16. This is giving me Temperance energy, or the number 7. Faith, wisdom, reflection, and understanding. Wow, something very divine coming through here with the fates and the angel. Okay, and we have the Sentinel, determination and certainty. And we have Shapeshifter, light attributes, skill at navigating through difficult levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shadow attribute, projecting an image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And we have the Androgyne with the number 62, or the number 8 coming through again. Movement, change, and attainment. Strength is also the number 8 in the tarot, which is about having the courage to face fears. And it's also the Star, okay, reduced in the tarot, and Star is all about our wishes and our hopes. And we have the empty room with number 42. Okay, so we have 52 and 42. Or the number 6. Okay, let me sit with this energy and see what it is that you are, how it is that you're seeing this current situation that you're in here. Okay. This is interesting energy. So you're trying to manifest something. I think you've been at something for quite some time, like really dedicated. I feel you've put in a lot of your time and your energy, and I mean, you've made a bit of headway, but I feel like it's a far from it manifesting. You're not seeing anything, like feeling as though you've put in a lot of your energy, a lot of your time, a lot of your effort and dedication and focus, and I feel like you've got nothing out of it. And you're not sure, like, do I continue? Do I continue putting in my energy, my effort? Is there something I'm supposed to be doing different? Should I remain unwavering in my dedication here? And is this why something hasn't really manifested for me? Because of my questioning, whether I should remain consistent with this. And so sometimes you feel dedicated, consistent, and like you're fated to do what you're doing despite seeing any results. And then a lot of times you feel like you're questioning, when will this happen? Why hasn't it happened yet? Well, what is this that I'm experiencing? And feeling like with this opposition, like I don't know if you feel as though you're there's some resistance here. I feel, it's like resistance. And so I feel like you feel kind of, oh, I don't know how to put this into words. It's like if you deviate from your path of trying to manifest, doing what you're doing to try to attain and build something here, put something together, dedicate yourself to something. If you sort of deviate from that, you might feel resistance. You might feel like things seem like they're not quite flowing. You might feel like things are off, and maybe you're also not sure how others in the situation, or whether they're cooperating or whether they're getting in the way. Like, how do I work with other people? How do I manage to get through putting this together so that there is sort of a winning situation here? Because I feel like you feel you're destined to attain something here, and like the future of your happiness could rely on this thing sort of really manifesting and building. And you've shown a lot of endurance and patience and dedication, and you've been guided by spirit. You feel very much like you've been guided here, like there's something very spiritual here and divine, but at the same time it's like, then why do I have all this resistance? Why is there so many obstacles in the way that I might have to go through, or that I have to face, and all these challenges? And sometimes I feel very stuck, and sometimes I feel like it's not getting anywhere. And when I look at what I've accomplished, I see nothing. I can't call it anything. Nothing has manifested. There is nothing here, and I'm not quite sure. And so I try to go with the universe. I try to be led by the universe. I try to be all these different things, and sometimes I come across conflict, because it didn't work. And so I have to sort of stay on my toes and be certain ways. But I feel like sometimes it's okay because you feel determined. And then other times we're questioning, should I remain? Should I remain determined? Is this something that I need to continue on? Or is this something that is just causing me strife for no reason? Because if I haven't seen anything here, or nothing's really been created, then I'm not quite sure what this is, and I'm not quite sure what I'm dedicating myself to. And so is spirit leading me astray? Am I sort of feeling like there's something divine here, but meanwhile, this is just like, what is this? I don't really understand this. And so I feel like you haven't seen anything. You haven't really got full confirmation here that the road you're on is really what's working or manifesting. You've experienced some resistance, you've experienced some struggles, you've experienced conflict with others potentially, maybe not agreeing, maybe others not helping or getting in the way, or yeah, just not supporting or working. Like if everyone worked together, we'd get to a certain destination. But it's like, I feel like you might feel alone, or like things are pushing back against you. And so if it was meant to be, if things would flow, then why is there resistance? If this was meant to be, then why is it so difficult? And why do you feel stuck at times? And why is there a contemplation of whether you should or shouldn't? Wouldn't you be constantly dedicated to this certainty if this is what Spirit wanted sort of to guide you towards? Like, lots of questions around this, and like, am I doing this right? How do I need to be? How do I need to see this? Am I seeing everything clearly? Am I listening to my intuition? Is there something more here I'm supposed to know? Like, Spirit, show me the way, because I am ready to see the way here. But at the same time, like, I'm questioning a lot here, because the proof is sort of in the pudding. And when I don't see anything here, anything's manifested or any sort of thing, then I start to not understand what this patience is for. I don't really understand what I'm building, what this thing will build to. Is it even something I need? Do I need all this conflict? Do I need all this sort of challenge in my life here for something that's not really going to make or break me at the end of the day here? Because it doesn't seem to be something that's forming in any way that I can call anything. Whew. Wow, this energy, you guys. Okay, so if this sounds like your ramble in your mind, your scramble, I feel your pain. Let's take a look at what's the objective truth then going on here. What does Spirit want you to know about this situation? I want to say I do love your energy, okay? Because it seemed like you were so free. Like, although it seemed like you were confused in some way, but the confusion was really, do I trust my intuition? And like, there's the real world, I guess, when we say the matrix world, right? And then there's the reality, which is the universal truth. And so we could be at odds when what's in front of us isn't matching the reality or intuition. And so this causes this sort of need to sort through. And so although we see a blank room, this is where the growth happens. The growth happens when we don't have to label anything, when we don't need to see it physically so much to experience something and know that it's equally as true. And so although in front of us maybe the physical hasn't manifested, everything's happening on the inside. And sometimes the inside has to completely form before the outside starts to reflect. Okay, so let's see. Snail. Slow. Slow, slow, slow. And look at this spiral. Maybe doing circles. Attack. And we have this parent with the child. Okay, so we have green, blue, and red. Root chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra. Love, expression, communication, and security and safety. Okay, and then we have the 10th house with authority, number 48, or the number 12, or the number 3. So the 10th house. 10th house is all about career, but it's also about our long-term goals, structure, our reputation, our public image. It's masculinity. It's also father energy. Yeah, masculinity, men. It's also about fame, authority. Okay. And then we have North Node with future, 34, or the number 7. Yeah, because the 10th house is all about the long-term goals. And now we have future here. Okay. Round and round. Yeah, we were certainly getting that from this. 25, or the number 7 coming through again. Didn't we have 7 here? Yeah. 7, faith, wisdom, reflection, and understanding. It is also the Chariot in the tarot, which is forward movement and success, integrating shadow. And it could also be the Tower in the tarot, which is the false falling away. Round and round. And we have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, 38, or the number 11. 11 is a divine master number. It's divine inspiration, synchronicity, which you guys might be seeing. It's also the encouragement to keep going. Okay, the encouragement to keep going. I do feel this is a message of confirmation, that more angel energy, which we were getting from this, very divinely guided, very divinely protected here, pile number 2. Okay, beautiful energy. And this is the heart chakra with the green ray, okay, which we were getting from this. Lots of blues, which is our authentic expression. And we have the cartographer, a crossroads and exploration. Look at this scroll wound up. And I usually get us uncertain about the future when the scroll is wound up. It's like the map we cannot see. We cannot see ahead. It's all like a mystery to us. It's unfolding. And then we see the, what is that called? The protractor from the geometry set here. And then the map. Okay. I just heard the map is not the territory. So we might want to see the map, but I feel Spirit wants you to experience the territory, to explore the territory. And that doesn't come from us seeing a map. It comes from us living the territory, living in that map, if you will. But I think the mind wants to see a map. The mind wants to put a label to something. The mind wants to physically experience it in the 3D. But I think the lesson here is the intuition strengthening this reality that we don't see in front of us. Okay, so we have visionary, light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Yes, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Shadow attributes, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. And we have lead with the black and white, the yin, the yang, masculine, feminine, dichotomy here. Lead is a very heavy sort of metal. And here we have the gem 56. Look at that. All these beautiful colors of the rainbow in this black and white world. Okay, pile number 2. Oh my goodness, your beautiful energy. I love your energy. So it's frustrating. And the way I read this too is frustration, right? Like frustration. And you're allowed to feel frustrated. Let yourself feel as whatever you feel. But know this, that the mind is what the frustration is, okay? Because the mind has been programmed and believes it needs to see things in front of us in the for 3D with its 5 senses. If it doesn't see it, feel it, touch it, know that it's there with the mind, then it starts to throw a whole bunch of narration at it. It doesn't exist. You're crazy. It's not real. Don't believe it. Okay, don't believe the synchronicities. But meanwhile, here we know, because we feel it so strong with the divine guidance, and with the time here, because we have the watch here showing itself. Okay, we have a clock in the middle of this angel. This is all about divine timing, divinely guided, and this is all about our own will and what we think we need to see with our eyes here, okay, which is based on matrix and program. So this is what Spirit is showing here. You might feel this is slow, and it could certainly be slow in the 3D world. But when we detach from the 3D world, we start to not experience the same cyclical mind thought and negative emotions, because we don't have to experience negative emotions. We don't have to keep concluding to the same thing. This will never happen. I still don't see anything, blah, blah. We can lean into, and this is what this confirmation is, knowing that there is something greater than the physical plane here of the 3D that we cannot see with our eyes. And your intuition is coming through very strong. Your psychic abilities, your gifts, to tap into this unspoken, unseen energy. Okay, and I feel like it is coming in here for you to trust in this blindly, because I feel like you have a lot of emphasis on, I cannot see the future or where I'm headed or what's going to manifest of this, like where is this leading me? And so we put a lot in that energy, and this might be coming from a need to feel safe with the root chakra, to have control, Okay, and so if we don't see the future, if we have no insight about it, we feel like we're upside down and we don't feel like we're in control, and we start to get very out of our comfort zone and discomfort, and we feel like we're attacked by the universe by some way. But know this, that you are very, very safe. You're very protected here, okay? And if you come here to my readings, this message is for you. I hope you resonate with this. I'm not just saying this for anyone. You are highly protected here, okay, by the divine. Trust this and allow yourself to lean into trusting the unspoken guidance that your future is going to lay out in front of you exactly as divine guidance wants it to lay out in front of you. You don't need to be completely in the know of the map so much as seeing it with your eyes, as intuitively trusting it, because it becomes comfortable and you start to trust yourself, your intuition, and your guidance by the universe here. The universe will not lead you astray. And I feel you feel like you might sink. I feel like you might feel like it might lead you somewhere where then you'll be out of control in some place you don't want to be, and that you can't get out of it, and that the only reason why you feel you need to see this map is for your ego's timing to say, I need to see this. Why do you need to see it? This is a true lesson in our faith, in our own intuition, and trusting the divine spirit that is leading you down a path, okay? And so the only reason why we feel round and round is not because spirit is guiding you round and round. You feel round and round because you're getting in your own way with your mind, with your ego, with your narration of what you think you need to see. The programming is coming out heavy. So we start to question and we start to get cyclical in our beliefs, in our mind, believing what we were taught and what socially makes sense, in theory. But really, when we come into this spiritual world, we know that nothing really fully makes sense to the mind, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. And so we experience something on a very profound level. We experience something inside of us that cannot be explained away by words or written on maps. We cannot write a map about it. We only experience it, and we enjoy this journey. And so I feel like the more you're on this journey, the more you start to cooperate with the universe, and it's a dance. And your future unfolds here, and it's beautiful, and you're no longer frustrated, and you're no longer feeling attacked, and you're no longer feeling like the universe might be leading you in circles, or you're supposed to be getting somewhere, so much as comfortable that the universe is allowing you to experience itself through you, that this whole process, you exploring the territory, is the experience. Okay, and so we have to lean into our heart, which is really coming from a place of love and non-judgment of self and others. Okay, and then with the blue, it's the self-expression. The true authentic self needs to express itself. Okay, and so the only way to find the true authentic self is to let the false self fall away, the programming, the stories. The mind comes in with its stories, and so we need to say, I'm coming from a place of love, from a place of trusting the universe, from a place of authenticity. And so when we feel like we have to make a decision here, because I feel with this crossroads, we could be torn between our mind and what we sort of have believed to be true and understand on a logical level. And then the universe keeps putting us in situations where I think it's trying to get you to open to your heart space so that you can live with your authentic sort of view of internal self. And so once we're aligned with the authentic expression that is you, and we truly feel it from an unconditional heart space for ourselves and for others without judgment, the narration starts to fall away. The ego starts to slip. We no longer need to see maps. We can make decisions easier. The crossroads become easier. We know we're just guided, and we follow that guiding system. And when something doesn't feel good, we know we're out of alignment. We get back in alignment, back on our track. Okay, we don't get carried away or pulled away or circular in our thought process, because now we understand and we've learned a very valuable lesson. And so what's coming of this? Because I feel you need to know because of all this. And so Spirit doesn't want to leave you in this sort of dark, empty space. Although Spirit doesn't have to be this kind and generous, because this is all about faith and understanding, and this is what the lesson is. But guess what Spirit is showing you here? Where is this leading you to? your true authentic self, this gem, this is you. You are, by doing this lesson, coming into the most valuable energy that you could possibly come into in your whole existence, which is connecting to your authentic self, to seeing the beautiful shine that you have and all the different sort of aspects of self that comes through with this experience. Okay, and not everyone goes through such a profound experience here, and sometimes we stay in matrix and we stay in the world, you know, the rat race around us. But I feel like you're awakened to this trueness, to this beautiful vibrancy that is within you. And so all of the stuff that's been weighing you down, that's been around you, keeping you stuck in social sort of belief systems and structures, is falling away. And when that all falls away, the only thing that's left is your true authentic self. Okay. And so I feel like there's a message here about doing energy work so that your chakras are clear of trauma. So this could include shadow work or meditation or whatever you use to get in contact with any blocks you might have in your energy. Okay, this is questioning all of our beliefs so that when we are acting out of subconscious or triggers or out of programming, we're very aware and we catch it, but also we're seeing things completely different now. We're questioning everything, the way we see things, not with our eyes so much as our third eye. So now it becomes a different way, like a child sees through this new sort of third eye vision, you know, with the intuitive eye. So now we see things completely different. And so we're relearning about everything and everyone around us, including ourselves, because now we see it completely different. We have different questions. We engage differently. We respond differently. We now can just be different. And so now when we explore the journey, potentially the exact same territory you've been in, it now becomes a new experience because we're now engaging differently and the universe reveals its secrets differently. Okay. But we're not going to be blinded by our ego, and we're not going to feel attacked by the not knowing and the not seeing and the material sort of factual things that we need to feel, see, and touch with our eyes and our hands and our ears and our nose. Okay, and we don't need to feel like we're stuck in circles or we're doing circles. Again, the universe acknowledges and sees that you may feel this way, but this is nothing to do with where the universe is trying to guide you. This is all a process of self-discovery. And so the more we feel like we're doing circles, the more we have to look within and say, what am I doing right now? How is there a higher way or a different way I could see this inside of myself that isn't something that's been explained to me, taught to me, or that I've just automatically took for granted to see in a certain way? Be completely open. Okay, like in how you're seeing things. Like I'm feeling Aquarius energy here, like being completely just open to whatever the universe is putting in front of us from new eyes. Okay, and then I feel like you might then feel like you have a sense of control over your own sort of life, because I feel like we might feel very out of control when the universe is trying to guide us in a direction and we feel like, well, where am I going? What's manifesting? You know, like it's a frustration here and we feel attacked. And the attack is the ego that's being attacked. Your pure essence of you is not attacked. Okay, it's pure. It is untouched. It is untainted. It is there beneath this. So we're going to ask Spirit, I'm not reading any reversals, for guidance. Anything further pile 2 needs to know about this situation. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for being here. I certainly appreciate you being here and your support. So what is this guidance? We have the Page of Wands. We have 5 cups. We have, like I said, I'm not reading reversals. We have the King of Swords. And we have the World. And we have the Page of, not the page, sorry, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, beautiful. Love, 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 love. So much love. Okay, what do we see? Sadness. Okay, this is us feeling the round and round. This is us looking back, like how come nothing's manifested and all the feeling that you feel. Okay, you're valid to feel this way, but know that this isn't your true self feeling this way. This is the person that you're identifying as, and that person is false self. okay, that's hanging on to this feeling of sadness. And you don't need to. You don't need to do circles. You don't need to feel sad. Now, if you want to experience the sadness, you can certainly do this. But at any point, you can then connect and say, I don't need to feel sad, because that person that I'm connecting to is not the true, authentic self. The true, authentic self is the self that knows and desires, where it's being led by the universe. It can cooperate with the universe. It doesn't need to see. It trusts in the universe's guidance system and my own intuition. It's leading me to my passions. It's leading me to what I desire. It's going to guide me in what I want. I need to be open to it, and I need to close out my way of needing to logically sort of be strategic in knowing the planning, seeing the map, understanding it with my logical mind. You know, the King of Swords is one that's very strategic, has to write it out and understand it and be very much mind about it. And the universe is saying, close this out. You know, you no longer need to be solely relying on mind and strategy and what you see and understand. And this is how you will manifest and work with the universe. This is all about law of attraction, okay? On a deeper spiritual level, this is how do we manifest for ourselves a solid thing that we weren't getting, because all we kept getting was empty room, patience, and frustration, and round and round. And Spirit's saying, no, you're actually going to manifest something here. The quicker we learn that we don't need to be round and round, the quicker we learn that we're not the suffering here, the quicker we learn we can detach from this, the quicker we learn that the true self is the visionary here, that isn't the material world or the matrix world. The true manifestation will come instantly, new beginning, manifestation, as soon as we close out the mind thoughts and know that you could still be desiring what you want. You know, you could still go after what it is you want, but the universe will put blocks up around things that it knows what's best for us, okay? And so sometimes we think what's coming through here is, I don't know exactly how the parable or the story goes, but it's, let me see if I can get this right. Sorry, I know this reading is really long, but I might totally butcher who is who, but the essence is there. So the neighbor goes and finds out about his other neighbor. We'll call him Joe. Joe, your horses, they were running around last night and your horse went missing. Isn't that sad? And Joe says, maybe. And then the next day, the horse comes back, and it comes with a whole bunch of other horses, like a whole group of horses now. So now the horses are like doubled. And so the neighbor sees this, and the neighbor comes back and says, Joe, isn't that a blessing? Now you have doubled your horses. And Joe says, maybe. And so the next day, Joe's son goes and he is training the wild horses, and he falls off and he breaks his leg. And the neighbor hears and comes out and says, Joe, oh my goodness, your son broke his leg. What a tragedy that is. And Joe says, maybe. And so then the next day, the police or whatever, the police come to Joe's house, and they're looking for candidates to fight in the war. And they look at the son and see that the son has a broken leg. And so the son, they write off as someone who is incapable of going to war, and they leave. And so then the neighbor comes over to Joe and says, oh, I see that the cops were here and your son wasn't enlisted in the war. So what a blessing this is. And Joe says, maybe. And so this goes on and on and on. And as you can see, right, we think we know what we want, and then it isn't exactly what it is that we wanted. We might get the most amazing thing that we thought we wanted, and it turns out to be the worst nightmare. And we might end up getting what we didn't think we wanted, and it's becoming the most beautiful blessing. Okay, so I am getting this sort of energy here because what I feel is happening here is that we might have been in one energy of mind, one energy of understanding, and Spirit is really wanting you to experience sort of this polar opposite so that you can strengthen your intuition, strengthen your faith in your own self of the unspoken, the unseen, and your connection with the divine in order for you to learn about manifestation. Because when we're in this energy and we're aligned, And we don't need to see it so much. We start to manifest, okay? And we start to get what we want. But back to this card, we could still go after what we want, but the universe knows what we want, or the best course of action for us, where it's really guiding us, you know? And so we might be really frustrated and say, oh shoot, like I really, 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 really wanted this Lamborghini and I've been saving all my life. And then our house goes up in flames and, you know, we don't get the Lamborghini, and we pay for the repairs on our home. And so we can look at it two ways. We can be very devastated about not getting the Lamborghini, or we could say the universe allowed me to save up for this home repair that I probably wouldn't be able to because of whatever other reason, and it was my only way to, you know, to save me here. So anyway, lots of that sort of analogy that's coming through here. I'm sorry if I butchered it or if that didn't make sense to some of you, but I do feel some of you guys needed to hear that. Beautiful pile 2, I love you very, very much. You are so amazing, and this is quite to the journey. Okay, trust in the journey, trust that you're headed, that you have a beautiful future. It is very abundant, but it really is about the journey and the exploration, seeing things completely different than we have, rather than being frustrated and feeling like we're on the wheel getting nowhere. Okay, life doesn't have to be heavy. That is only us carrying the heaviness, feeling we have to carry the heaviness for whatever reason. And we don't. We let it go. Okay? Heart-based consciousness. Okay? I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, blessed angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the Rose air freshener. And we're looking at a current situation and how you're seeing it. How are you connecting with it? How are you experiencing it? Your perception of it. And then we're looking at what is actually going on. Like, what is the actual truth about this situation that either you're distorted about, or is it reinforcing what you are seeing as being true? What is it you're needing to know about it? Okay, so let's take a look. Now, if you don't resonate with this energy, this might not be your pile, okay? Because this is kind of how you're seeing your situation or experiencing it. Now, because energy isn't linear and we're not all on the same sort of time spot on the timeline, this could be incoming energy, which you might still be sort of coming into existence, or it could be passing out of existence. If it seems like old energy, you could have another pile somewhere else, okay? So keep that in mind and use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this. So we have cave. And we have appreciation, number 15, or the number 6. 15 is the devil in the tarot, which is Capricorn energy, and 6 is the lovers in the tarot, which is Gemini energy. Okay, and we have home, and then we have this oracle card with 2 people in a vehicle, and it has a yield sign here. And we have 50. 12th house, introspection. 12th house is all about endings, closure, healing, spirituality, solitude, karma, old age, afterlife, what's hidden, limiting beliefs, and the subconscious. Okie dokie. Cave. Treasure Island, number 9. 9 is the Hermit in the tarot, all about introspection. That's Virgo energy. Here we see water, which could represent emotions, and a sea turtle with the treasure, a bunch of stars, Aquarius energy coming through. The Walker, the unknown, and a journey. And here we have 3 swallows or swifts. And we have the sun rising from the clouds. Clouds could be confusion. Sun is certainly about clarity, certainty, joy. We have warrior, light attributes, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Oh my goodness. Shadow attributes, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Okay, and we have mortification, number, 68. 68. Mortification is the death energy in the tarot. And then here we have the healer. Oh my goodness, 25. Or the number 7. Look at the 3-headed serpents. Okay, I love today's readings, you guys. Let me see what this energy is about that you're kind of seeing and resonating with here, pile one. Just give me a moment. Okay. I love my viewers. I feel like crying, but out of happiness here. Just give me a minute. You guys are so beautiful, okay? So I feel like you're just doing yourself, doing your stuff, and then all of a sudden there's this like what the fuck moment, and I think it's your awakening, okay? It's your awakening, and this moment in time is crazy, okay? Because you feel like things are just happening. And so you're pulled from your world as you know it, and it's completely upside down. And now you're rerouted into this sort of world, okay? But I feel like you like it in some aspect because you understand the severity and the truth of what you're going to experience. But it's also very sort of challenging here, okay? Because it's pulling from the depths of you, parts of you that you probably didn't realize you had. And so I feel like you're being pulled out of your slumber, pile number 3, you know. And when we get pulled out of the slumber, it's scary because sometimes there's very intense experiences that we have to experience in order for us to wake up. And so I feel like you're going through a major shedding of old self here, okay? Like things are really closing out for you, limiting beliefs, and you're really diving into your subconscious, which is where we find a lot of things that we stored in order for us to find the real treasure, which is our own authentic self. And so I feel like there's a lot of healing being done throughout this journey, this sort of what you felt was maybe just going to be a side quest or a side adventure, but it's actually a journey to coming back home to self. And so this isn't just a side quest journey. This is one of how we're now introducing our own way of being into our own life and integrating this into our lifestyle. Okay, so I feel like you feel very blessed to be on this journey, and you certainly are. We're all very, very blessed, you know, that people are able to awaken to their truest self here, and you are very blessed to be a part of this. And so I feel like you're learning about self, you're learning about appreciation of self, you're learning about the value of self, you're learning about the hidden aspects of yourself that you might have not have seen, that you're relearning, that you're actually starting to see for once and really accepting and celebrating as part of you, maybe for the very, very first time. Okay. And so I feel as you do this, you strengthen and you heal. I feel this has taken a lot of energy, a lot of discipline, a lot of conviction, and staying very true to this path. You know, I feel you've been very true to this path. You've been very dedicated to this path. Although, again, we don't know where we're sort of headed because this is a journey, you know, and this journey is one that isn't written, you know, in front of us. So we have to kind of trust it blind. But I feel like there's a message here. Now, this might be something you're already aware of, or it could be something you're not so sure of yet. But I feel like although the journey doesn't end so much because we keep going, I do feel like you're coming onto some solid ground here. Like you're finally starting to see the light. You're finally starting to see the beauty in self, and see the true authentic self, but in a positive light. You know, once the limitations go, once the mind starts to silence itself, where it had the ego chiming in, trying to pretend to be us, trying to tell us what we needed to feel or think or what this was going to be, and instill fear and cause doubt and create confusion. I feel like you have been able to conquer this time and time and time again. And so as we get stronger, we start to see the truer self. So I feel like you've plunged the depths of your emotions. I feel like you've shed a lot. I feel like you're still transforming. But what I feel is very beautiful here is I think you're coming into contact with your true gift, which is your ability to heal others, because you have been able to heal self, okay, which is beautiful, because sometimes we try to heal others before we've even been able to heal ourselves. And I feel like you have been healing yourself here, and doing everything here in order to stay on this journey of finding true self and being an absolute warrior about it. Because I feel like aside from just any old sort of spiritual awakening or coming into contact with your true self, you're also being called by the universe to walk this authentic calling, which is you being a healer. Okay, you being a healer. Now, shouldn't make you feel pressure that you need to go out and, and dedicate yourself and be of service. This is for those of you guys resonating that know that your calling is something greater than just going through a spiritual awakening and finding self, that you know that there's a dedication here to helping others, to being of service. And so as we do this, we start to call in our soul tribe. We start to feel even more of the appreciation, because as we give love, as we give service, as we devote ourselves to other people, we start to receive back from the universe this beautiful blessing. Okay, so I feel like there's certain things here that you're still figuring out in regards to your capabilities of healing, being a healer, providing healing to others, being of service. But I feel like you're on this journey and you're very strong. And right now I feel this is a very positive energy. So if you're on, this dark night of the soul, if you've been through dark night of the soul, or if you're still kind of in the midst of it, know that this energy is coming towards you. Okay, this understanding is going to be your understanding of experience, of getting to this place. And some of you guys are already here, and this is such a beautiful energy, getting very centered and shedding a lot of the thoughts that we might have had in regards to how we were supposed to be, who we were supposed to be. Those are all limiting thoughts. Okay, and so I feel like like you've cracked open this sort of understanding, and it's been quite the journey here. Okay, but I feel like you've been very much this warrior and confronting this sort of head on and going with the flow. And so we're approaching land here, because I feel like we've been far from land for a while, and we're sort of tired of navigating emotions, and it's exhausting, because I feel like we've been at it for so long, it's become our norm. And so we've accepted and we've surrendered to the universe that we need to sit with our emotions. We need to sit in a body of water here. But Spirit is saying you don't need to sit out there much longer. You are now coming to land, and now you can integrate what you've learned, what you know here, into society with these new eyes, because I feel like there's some healing and some service you're giving to the world, and you might already be embarking on this service. Okay, so if you resonate with this, then let's take a look at what is actually going on here. And what is actually going on here for pile number 3, Spirit. So we have oak, beautiful. So we have the acorns, which is always, for me, it talks about the longevity. Like when you plant the acorn, it takes a very, very, very long time to grow into an oak tree. Okay, oak tree is very strong, but it takes quite some time to develop its security, its stability. We have the mirror, self-reflection, shadow work, looking at self. Love, oh my goodness, you guys, I am gonna cry. Love, love, love. Oh my goodness, look at all the green. Heart rate, love, coming into heart consciousness, seeing from the eyes of love, pure love, not fear love, fear-based love, where we are really scared of losing control. And so we love out of a place of, if you watched pile 1, sometimes we love out of a fear of abandonment, or we love from a place of fear or needing control, but really that's fear love. Love, pure love, unconditional love is from a place of not needing anything from anyone, because we have it, we're all whole and complete, and then wanting to be of service, to heal others. I feel you see this in self, and if you don't see it, this is the reality of this situation. Second house with resources, number 40. So the second house, this is all about income and money and our daily routines, values, material possessions, our priorities, our habits, our job, and our work ethic. So I am getting here, you will have the resources you need, but what I'm getting is, before enlightenment, carry and chop wood. After enlightenment, carry and chop wood. So it's almost like your daily routines coming through here. Go the distance, 47. I was getting that with the swallows, like coming to the finish line here, coming to land. Number 11. And 11 is a master number. It's about divine inspiration. It's about the synchronicity and the encouragement to keep going, going the distance, come to the edge. Oh my goodness, you guys, 36. or the number 9. And we have time to go, 45, or the number 9 coming through again. Okay, so 9 is hermit, all about introspection. Okay, and sometimes it could be we're in isolation because we are doing inner work. We're on the hermit's journey. 9 is about fruition, completion, fulfillment. Hermit is Virgo energy. And we have the magician and the mirror. Oh my goodness, you guys, look at that mirror. Magician, all about manifestation. That's also Virgo energy and Gemini energy. Number 8, the magician and the mirror. And look, hermit's lantern. I'm getting very heavy hermit, which is the shadow work. It is the self-exploration. It is understanding self. Okay, but I also feel we might have been very removed here from society. Very, very removed. And maybe we got very used to it, okay? Like in the cave, home, like very much isolating self. And when we go through spiritual awakening, sometimes we do isolate self. We do need to remove ourselves so that we can gain some sort of greater insight. And then we have to integrate back into society here. Opportunities and growth with the Hermit's Lantern. And look at how these hands are kind of holding. This is an apple. It has the Cupid's arrow. And then this hand's holding flowers. Okay. And there's flowers here. Flowers all about new life, abundance. Fruit is about abundance and wealth. Okay. So the oak's also about wealth and abundance. I feel, and resources here about wealth and income and abundance. Wow. The botanist, parenthood and legacy. Look at that. 2 hands holding flowers and abundance. Abundance coming in, being gifted to you by the universe here. Okay. And the parenthood here, I feel you're birthing your baby here. This, what you're giving to the world here is this parenthood. You're leaving behind your legacy. Thief, light attribute, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Yes, shadow attributes, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. So this is the energy of us now knowing where the true value is in abundance, that it cannot be stolen from us, you know, and identifying where there were the thieves in our life, you know, where we were giving our power away to 9 to 5 or to what we were doing day in, day out. That was really the thief. You know, we were thieving ourselves by not connecting with the true authentic self here. And now we shed light on something that can never be stolen. Coagulation, number 66. 66 is a master number. It's service is a source of joy. Okay, service is a source of joy. Look at that, the healer, giving from a place of, again, love. Okay, giving from a place of love. Coagulation, something getting stuck. 35 with the ocean. That's diving into our emotions. And we have 39 with the temple. Okay. What is the truth here? So, I feel pile 3, all of this is certainly true, okay? But I feel like we can only see as far as we can see. And I feel like you've been in the blind here because you've been experiencing something very heavy, very profound, very spiritual, very significant, very life-changing, very, very, very wow, okay? And so Spirit recognizes this, and what Spirit is showing is kind of a peek at what is going on here. Okay, you are sort of going the distance here with that phase of that piece of that journey, which has been so tiring, so exhausting. You will be given the resources you need here, okay? And I feel like you are being gifted a bunch of abundance. It is coming in for you. And I do feel it's because your selfless act of healing, your ability to really see from a place of love here, to really connect to yourself, to see yourself truly, authentically, question your intentions and your actions every day, day in, day out, what you're doing here, what you don't want to rob yourself of, what you want to give to the world. And so this abundance grows over time. And I feel like Spirit is showing this stability, this growth, this material and financial abundance is building over time as you build your stability and security around true strength. Okay, true strength, nothing that could be blown over. Your legacy. Okay, trees last many centuries, so I feel like there is a trueness here of yourself that you're really digging in these roots so that you can really form something very abundant here. And it's taken a lot of work for you to really ask the tough questions, but we're manifesting this. And how we manifest this is we keep looking back at self, and we keep doing this inner work, regardless that when we come out of this phase, we're now being integrated back into society. So I feel like you're being integrated back into society slowly but surely, because I feel like if we remained in this energy, we would become very, very stuck. We would be an enlightened monk sitting in a cave doing no real great purpose. I mean, every enlightened being raises the frequency of the earth for sure, energetically, but what good are we being locked in a cave? And I feel like what Spirit is showing is Spirit does not want you getting stuck thinking that that's all it is you now coming into enlightenment. It's now you pushing yourself now to the next sort of level here, which is allowing yourself to receive the abundance, the resources you need, so that you can now push yourself to get even further in this journey, because you are growing something very abundant, manifesting something very abundant, supporting something very abundant that is coming straight from pure love, not fear love. Okay, and so I feel like there will always be a need for you to do the shadow work, be in connection with your emotions, be honest with how you're feeling and experiencing. Always remember sort of the experience you have gone through here, and know that you cannot stay in one place forever. That this time to go is saying when things get stuck, when there is no growth, when there is no expansion, it's time for you to push yourself to the edge for the next phase of your life and keep going. Pile number 3, you don't need to stop. It doesn't end there. In fact, like I said, for some people, they have their spiritual awakening and that's enough. And they might go lifetimes and lifetimes trying to work on this spiritual awakening and keep at it. And some people awaken, they come into this world awakened, and they keep pushing themselves, and their calling is different. Okay. And I feel your calling is much different. It's pushing you, because I feel like there's many sort of phases here that you're going to be going through, because you're very, very much on this road of something fabulous, something great, something that's going to give you this manifestation as a result of your desire to keep going, to give selflessly, to lean into your authenticity, to no longer contribute into the matrix world of thieving yourself of reality and your own time, because your time is something here that's spent being very authentic to what it is that you know is true. Okay, although we know time is just sort of an illusion here, and we come and go in the blink of an eye, but we're here for a reason. This lifetime here serves a purpose, okay? And so we can either get stuck and be reborn again and have to do it all over again if we believe in reincarnation, but energy certainly doesn't die, and energy evolves, and so it ascends, okay? And I feel like this ascension is you continuously moving forward in this journey, you continuously going from phase to phase to phase to really push yourself, because I feel like you're an ascended master here, okay? Like a very ascended master here, and there's something very divine about you. So I don't know, maybe you're, a reincarnated Buddha, maybe you're a reincarnation of some very highly spiritual being, that's being brought to earth to elevate humanity, to keep this sort of progress going, to shed the light on spirituality. So I feel like there's something very divine about you, and I feel like once you connect to that, which I feel you're doing a great job doing, welcoming this, seeing this within you, knowing it is not separate of you, you are one within the divine, the quicker we connect to attaining the manifestation and the abundance, because there is a reward that comes here for you, okay? And I feel like the more you start to peel back the layers of truth, or the false falls away, or the lies fall away, the more truth we see and understand of self, I feel like the more the universe is going to be bestowing abundance to you, okay? So this is beautiful. This is such a beautiful energy here. Like, you are all about this manifestation. Let's see, guidance and advice. Anything I'm missing for beautiful pile 3 spirit in this beautiful reading? What am I missing? Anything they're needing to know right here, right now, that I might have missed? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful, beautiful pile number 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed and so grateful to be here doing your reading. And I love that you're here. I love your energy. All right. So we have Chariot, success, forward movement, integration of the shadow. Okay, this is this ocean. This is this treasure island. So we need to sort of understand our own emotions, dive the depths of our shadow self, which sits in our emotions, in order to integrate it so we can move forward in life and not stay stuck. Okay, success. And we have, I'm reading them all in the upright. We have the Knight of Swords. This is that warrior energy I was feeling from you. You're a fighter. You confront, you don't run. Okay, confrontation and facing what we need to. And we have the Lovers, and we have 8 Swords. So 8 Swords, limiting beliefs. And we had that with the 12th house, which was closure of limiting beliefs. Okay, so we had a lot of understandings in our mind about who we were supposed to be, how we were supposed to live, what it was that we were doing. And I feel it's been completely shattered by us knowing that with the Lovers here, it's our choice. It's our choice what we choose to believe. We can erase all of our experiences and our programming completely from our mind if we choose to do so, or we can hang on to it and continue to live in that program facade. And I feel like you made a choice here to break free from the 8 Swords, to break free from the matrix, so that you can be in line with your dharma. Okay, with the Lovers here, your calling, your true passion, to bring in the right people and the right circumstances here to support your growth. 2 Wands, again, the choice, the decision. You're making the choice of choosing the path that's less traveled, which is this come to the edge. We're not staying in our comfort zone. We're seeing that there's a greater purpose, and we want to choose this path. So I feel you're making this decision. Okay, you're leaving the comfort zone. You're leaving the stuckness, the staleness. But we're also not forgetting that even if we are enlightened, even if we have ascended, we're still integrating this into our day in, day out actions, right? Chop wood, carry water before enlightenment. Chop wood, carry water after enlightenment. Same. But the choices now that we make in regards to where we're devoting and dedicating our time is not giving it away. You know, we're our own thief by committing to things here that aren't of value, that don't support the true authentic nature of self. Okay, taking a leap of faith, a new beginning, being like a child in the universe, trusting the universe. The fool doesn't know where he's going, where he's leaping, whether it's going to be a bad experience, good experience, scary experience, fun experience. He just leaps, trusts the universe, and explores, and goes on the journey. Okay, opportunities and growth, certainly with the Fool energy here. 9 Pentacles, all about self. And this is the abundance coming in again. I think you guys are going to really, really come into some financial abundance, or whatever wealth means to you. Okay, so if you've been struggling with, I don't know, like whatever financial wealth or confidence here in building of self and your own sort of structure around you, I feel like this is coming in for you. The minute you choose to leave behind limiting beliefs and make that decision, you know, that you can lean into your dharma, lean into that. You have success here. And we have the Queen of Wands, manifestation, because the Queen of Wands is the master manifester. She brings towards her everything that she desires, because she's a magnet. And when you're in this energy of knowing you can choose your own future, you are working with the universe. This is the law of attraction, bringing it towards you. Okay, and look at this little baby, because I feel like in this parenthood, I feel like you're birthing this new energy into the world of this new sort of self, you know, this Fool energy. And so this new self of yours, out of a decision you made to commit to this, you ride successfully here to an outcome that I feel is you leaving a legacy behind, and you attaining abundance, wealth, and a greater understanding of who you are. Okay, 2 Pentacles. Yeah, look at this, a decision, a decision, a decision. So you might be at a crossroads, pile number 3 right now, you know, and you're maybe contemplating, should I integrate back into society, or should I, you know, take on this business of healing work, or open up that YouTube channel, or go do whatever it is that you're doing? Because I feel like something might be stuck still. Okay, something might now it's time for you to move out of this energy. You've learned what you need to. Okay, there's more to learn, more to experience. Spirit says trust in the divine, trust in your emotions. It will navigate you. It's time to move out. Push yourself to the edge, okay, to really push yourself out of your comfort zone. The decision is yours. And once you decide, that's when you have success. That's when you move forward. That's when things align. That's when you get blessings. Okay, but you have to just trust the universe. Leap blindly. That's part of what you learned here in your spiritual awakening. To trust in the divine, to be a warrior, to confront this. No longer running, no longer too scared to risk anything. We see the truth now. We see it. Okay, you see it. Now, you might not see it with your physical eyes, but you see it because you intuitively understand it. You've inner experienced this. Okay, and so as long as we're always acting from a place of love, okay, unconditional love, not fear-based love, because we want to be of service, to heal, to give selflessly, you'll always be rewarded by the universe here. Okay, you don't fear that you won't be, because you are manifesting this. So we always need to check our intention, because the ego likes to slip in there. Okay, so pile number 3, this is such a beautiful reading. I love you so, so much, and I hope this resonated for you, and I'm so glad you're here. You're a beautiful soul, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.